Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Jenny. It's so good to be back talking to the camera. I feel like I haven't made a video like this for ages. So today I'm here to chat to you about my October TBR. So my reading in 2024 has gone quite well in terms of volume. I've been able to read quite a lot and I'm quite ahead of my Goodreads goal heading into the last 3 months of the year. So I'm not putting a lot of pressure on myself to read anything in particular. I'm kind of reading very much by whim. And yeah, so that being said, what I picked to read for the month of October is kind of all over the place. Starting with my audiobook, I decided to read Ejaculate Responsibly by Gabrielle Stanley Blair. And so this is a book I heard about from a fellow artist, also a parent, and it's a really short audiobook. It's only 3 hours. It's a short book in general. And what this book is about birth control. It's about the way that the responsibility for preventing pregnancy has been put onto women. Even though we are only capable of getting pregnant about 3 days out of a month, and men can impregnate women way more. Like the percentages are crazy. They can, we all know this. So I believe that Gabrielle's, Stanley Blair's thesis in this book is that men should be taking the responsibility for preventing pregnancies more than women should. And so I'm raising boys, and neither of whom are sexually active at this time, but they will become sexually active at some point in the future, most likely. And when that time comes, I want to be able to offer them guidance and make sure that they understand their responsibility in terms of the sexual relationships that they will have around pregnancy. And so I'm just reading this now, kind of seeing what it's like, and then potentially recommending them to listen to it or read it in the future when the time comes where they will be needing such advice and guidance. So that is my audiobook. My nonfiction read for October is called Becoming Animal by David Abram. I put this on my TBR a really long time ago, and I'm getting this from the library. And I believe the subtitle is something about a new earthly cosmology. I believe that what this book is focusing on is helping humans to reconnect with the wild parts of ourselves, the parts of ourselves that we are nature, but the things that we've cut off in ourselves that connect us to nature, and kind of reconnecting with those things, opening up those things. That is very much something that I'm interested in. I'm interested in my own personal relationship with nature and as an animal on this earth, but also I'm interested in the spirituality of that and the spiritual potential connections there. So really excited to check this one out and see what it's all about. I'm also going to be reading The King's Evil by Andrew Taylor. So this is the third book in, what is the series called? I'm not sure what the series is called, but it is detective type stuff that is set in London after the Great Fire in the 17th century. And the characters, Kat and James, I think are their names, I adore. And I've been thinking about this book, about reading the next book since I finished the second book, which I think I read in January. So I just thought, let's just do it. Now, I usually listen to these on audio, and I love listening to them on audio, but my library for some reason doesn't have the third one on audio. So I'm reading this one in hard copy, and hopefully I enjoy the experience as much as I enjoy listening to them. And I'm interested to keep going after that because the library has the other books on audio. So this is kind of going to be the one time that I read it in physical form. So and this is just, again, a continuation of the story, a deepening of the relationship between Kat and James as they navigate this very precarious world post-fire and rebuilding of London, and as their personal relationship continues to deepen as well. And it's a very slow burn, and I'm very much enjoying that. The other novel that I'm currently reading, and I just started, is The River Midnight by Lilian Nattel. I've had this, owned this for quite a while, and this book is set in Poland in the late 19th century, and it follows three women who are friends in this very small Jewish village. And so the women are all quite different, but they were childhood friends. And so we're following them now as they are adults, living their lives in the village. And they all have very different experiences based on who they married, and whether or not they were able to have children, and their professions. One of them is a midwife and healer. And so we're getting all the stories of the three of them. And there's a kind of mystical, fable-esque style of storytelling here, which is entertaining. I'm not necessarily connecting really closely with the characters because I find that fable-esque way of telling stories often disconnects me a little bit from the characters. But, I've gotten this far in so far, and I do think it's really interesting, the different characters and what's happening. And it feels like there's going to be some sort of an interesting, because they were all childhood friends. They all grew up, got married, and they've kind of drifted apart. And now they're kind of coming back together or being forced back together. And this is also very much going through Jewish history around this time period. So the pogroms, I think they're called, the forced, government mandated expulsion of Jewish people from different places they were living, persecution, etc. So Jewish history is very much tied into this too, and Jewish culture, religiously and culturally, is also tied into it. So that's The River Midnight. And I'm also reading The Outsiders by S.E Hinton. This is a book I'm reading with Elliot. I don't know a ton about this other than it's kind of a classic of teen lit, and it's about the kind of class divide between the rich people and the poorer people, and it follows three brothers as they navigate this, having lost their parents. So that's all I know so far. Again, very, very early days into this one. And the other novel that I hope to get to in October is Burial Rites by Hannah Kent. And so this book is set in Iceland, and it's some sort of a mystery, a woman accused of murder or something like that. It sounds very gothic. It sounds very dark. I'm in the mood for that. It's October. It's cool. It's the leaves are falling. I'm ready for some kind of twisted gothicness. And so that's what I'm hoping to get from Burial Rites by Hannah Kent. And then I also added a book of poetry to my TBR for this month, just to give me another one to read for the year. And I chose the Sparrow Selected Poems by A.F. Moritz. And I have no idea if these are mostly nature poems or what. I don't know anything about A.F. Moritz. So this is what I decided to read for October. I think it's highly likely that there could be some other things added in or things taken out if some of these books don't end up working out. But yeah, that's what I'm reading. I'd love to hear what you're reading, and I will check in with you again soon. Thank you so much for watching.